All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we are diving into something, well, pretty dark. It's a fascinating inversion of some classic philosophy. Think Goethe, think Nietzsche, but flipped completely on their heads. In this world, the goal isn't to strive for greatness, not at all. It's to finally and completely just stop. And our story begins, you might have guessed it, not in heaven, but in hell. A council has gathered, but they're not there to plot some grand rebellion. No, their purpose is to formally declare the end of all ambition. This, this is the new gospel of the void. So what we have here is this absolutely chilling reimagining of Goethe's Faust. See, in this version, Satan isn't some tempter trying to offer you ultimate power. He is the ultimate power, but it's the power of stillness. He's the supreme authority on just stopping, the very embodiment of the end of all human progress. And at the absolute heart of this philosophy is a concept called the last man. And get this, in this worldview, the last man isn't seen as a failure. It's the goal. It's the intended final state of all humanity, that exact moment when the question, why, has been snuffed out for good. So you've got Satan sitting on his throne of cold ash, the unmoving authority, right? And he asks his heralds, hey, is anything out there still moving? And his lieutenants, what a crew. Lucifer, the light of hopelessness. Beelzebub, the lord of stagnation. And of course, Mephistopheles, the instigator of apathy. They all report back on the total triumph of what they call the great tiredness. And here's where it gets really poetic. Lucifer, the light bringer, confirms that light doesn't bring hope anymore. It's the opposite. Now it just illuminates all the decay, showing everyone just how futile it is to even try moving forward. Then you have Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies, chiming in with his own grim update. He says humanity has completely stopped creating anything. They've just dissolved into this single, faceless, stagnant blob, basically feeding on the ghosts of their old ambitions. It's a powerful image, isn't it? But wait, Mephistopheles steps forward, and he's got a problem, a snag in the plan. There's one guy left, a single anomaly, a holdout from the old days named Faust, who still, unbelievably, clings to that glittering dream of becoming more, of self-overcoming. So what does Mephistopheles do? He proposes a new kind of bet. The goal isn't to win Faust's soul and drag him to hell in the traditional sense. Oh no. It's to teach him the deep, profound comfort of just giving up, to take that fiery will to power and turn it into a quiet, simple will to nap. I love that. Okay, so with that infernal plan set in motion, we can now zoom out and see how this whole philosophy of exhaustion starts to infect an entire culture. And where's the first place it shows up? Its most public stage, art. So in this world, we get this completely inverted prelude on the stage. The whole conversation, the whole debate, it's not about creating a masterpiece anymore. It's about how to engineer the perfect dose of comfortable numbness for the audience, how to keep them placid. And the theater manager, well, he spells it out perfectly. He says he needs a play that's like a warm bath, something that literally anesthetizes people, an art form that just reinforces the comfort of not having to think or question or feel anything too deeply. And who agrees with him? The poet, who is basically a version of our soothsayer, he's all for it. He argues that the highest form of art, the truest art, isn't some grand performance. It's the absolute, total silence that comes when every last drop of ambition has finally died. Now, this is where things get really interesting, because this philosophy maps that whole cultural decline right onto the journey of the individual soul. Think of it like the hero's journey, but in complete reverse. So you know Nietzsche's journey of self-overcoming, right? From the camel to the lion to the creative child? Well, this is a journey backward. It starts with the stillborn child, where all that potential just dies on the vine and innocence curdles into cynicism. From there, you get the caged lion. This is the rebel who realizes that freedom is just another empty room, and roaring about it does absolutely nothing. And finally, the spirit just collapses. It becomes the broken camel, the ultimate state of exhaustion that only wants what's easy. It's the living, breathing embodiment of the last man. And this whole backward journey is captured perfectly in something called the parable of the gray mirror. Imagine this. A man climbs and climbs, and he finally reaches the absolute peak. He becomes the Ubermensch, the overman. But when he gets there, he's not met with glory. He's met with a devastating final truth. He looks into this mirror at the very summit of his being. And what does he see? He realizes that creating new values, forging a new path, it's all just painting a new mask on the same old ancient void. And in that one moment, his desire to create, that whole will to power, it just flickers out, gone, like a candle in a tomb. So, a philosophy this bleak, this tired, well, it's gonna need a prophet, right? But not the kind who brings fire down from the heavens. No, this world needs a prophet who brings the deep, quiet comfort of the dark. And that's where the soothsayer comes in. He doesn't descend from some sunlit mountain brimming with wisdom. He emerges at dusk, and he's not full of knowledge. He's overfull of emptiness, and he's here to spread what he calls his gray truth. So on his journey down, he doesn't run into a wise old sage or anything like that. He meets a woodcutter, and the woodcutter isn't looking for enlightenment. He's just too tired to finish his work. It's the perfect illustration of the new world he's walking into. You see, the gift the soothsayer brings isn't some bright new dawn full of potential. It's the gentle, final feeling of twilight. And he claims that this is the truth that people secretly want more than anything else in the world. And when he gets to the city, he delivers his final sermon. He doesn't tell people to become more. He tells them to become less. He tells them to be like the moon, static, passionless, and totally complete in their stillness. No striving needed. And really, this just perfectly illustrates the core of this whole dark vision, doesn't it? It's the ultimate transformation of the will to power into a quiet, resigned will to rest. Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought to chew on. If the purpose of life is to overcome, what happens when we're taught to just embrace the void instead? What's the value of striving, of dreaming, in a world that's constantly whispering that it's better and so much easier to have never even dreamt at all?